Okay. All right. Kirrily, welcome
Thank you.
for being our VA in the spotlight today. It's a pleasure to have you joining us from sunny Hong Kong.
Yes.
Hong Kong. As you can tell, I'm winter, you're summer. So
Yeah, I know.
it's pretty obvious that we're sort of like opposite temperatures.
Yeah, that's it.
But you do come from Adelaide, right?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
And that's where we're trying to get back to.
Trying to get back. I know, in this crazy world that we currently live in. I mean, it's so...
Yeah.
So really, as I discussed with you a little earlier, it's really what we're doing in these little informal chats is having a chat ourselves about what it's taken for you to get started. And you're unique. Everyone's unique, but you're unique because you're very new, right?
Yes.
And you're also located overseas. So that's a totally different, I guess, take on what most people here are doing, which is most people in VA Institute, we're obviously very Aussie focused. You are Aussie, so that's the same, but you're actually able to get some clients overseas as well, which has been amazing. And of course, it makes sense. Why not? But yeah, let's just kind of roll the wheels back a bit. And if you can kind of give the people who are listening a little bit of an insight into what led you to this. And yeah, then we'll talk about how it's gone so far since you did your training in April, which is like a few months ago, like 4 months ago or something.
Yeah, it's only about 4 months. Yeah. So I was working for another company for almost 19 years and made redundant. Obviously in the COVID world that we're in at the moment, it was sort of a bit like, oh no, now what do we do for work-wise? So I was trying to find something that I could do flexibly, having kids at home, and came across the VA Institute. So that was sort of how I then contacted you and we did my training. So then it was obviously getting the website up and running and then working out how I was going to launch. I sort of had a date of beginning of July to launch. So I actually, a week before everything was finalised, I actually updated my LinkedIn profile because I did have my logo. So I updated that. And I had an ex-colleague contact me saying that he had a friend that had started a startup here in Hong Kong and was looking to see if, I'd have a chat with them to do some work with them. So that was sort of, got started before I'd even launched.
Amazing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it was. So then obviously that's gone ahead. I'm working for them. And then I also offer some personal concierge. So once I'd launched my business, I did get a couple of jobs just, sort of doing just a one-off work. And then through the VA jobs Facebook group, person down in Adelaide posted for a job there, which I applied for, interviewed for, didn't get, but then there was someone else in their office that was looking for somebody. So I contacted them and now working for them as well. So yeah, I'm pretty much could be doing full-time hours for what the two clients want. And then, my husband, obviously, he's got his own business, so he's got me working for him, which I wasn't charging, but now I am. So,
yay, as you should be.
That's right.
No, that's amazing because it really has been you just reaching out to people, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
And that was that daunting when you, like at the beginning, you were probably like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah, it was at the beginning. But then I just sort of put together a bit of a wording, and with the client in Adelaide, I was waiting for her to contact me because that was sort of how it had been said would happen. And I left it a couple of days and she didn't. So I was like, no, I'll contact her. So I think maybe I did push that to happen. And it worked fine. So it may not work every time, but it did that one.
No, and that's fine. It really, you just got to go with your gut on those things.
Yeah.
And it did pay off for you. And
yeah, it sure did.
So you find now you're like beginning of July, we're now only very early into August, aren't we?
Yeah.
You're kind of at the point now where you're comfortable with what you've got, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really good.
That's good. So the process itself, did you, has it kind of been sort of what you thought it would be, or are you finding, so, when people come in and they hear about VA work, often there's a few misconceptions, but is it sort of opening your eyes a little bit more to what was out there, or did you have a preconceived idea and it's worked to that? Or
I think for me, my key service areas I was going to offer, that sort of, to me, I felt very comfortable in, being able to help people out in that, in the VA world. My client in Adelaide has actually ended up being a lot more than what I was offering. So it's been nice that I'm learning some new things as well. So that's sort of been a bit daunting because they were talking, a lingo that I wasn't necessarily used to, and being, having to do a bit of training with them. So that sort of steered me off into a bit of a unknown. But I think if it had stayed with sort of just my key service areas, it would have been exactly, as I expected, and it wouldn't have been daunting at all.
That's really good. And I mean, look, the benefit too, I guess, is being able to work while you're away. So while you're offshore, you absolutely are our classic example of somebody who is doing it fully virtually, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You can't meet these Adelaide people in person. I mean,
no.
Are you using Zoom or technology?
Yeah.
Meet up?
Yeah, lots of Zoom calls, and even the client that I've got here in Hong Kong, sort of doing Zoom calls with them as well. I've met them once in person, but mainly everything's just Zoom and emails.
Yeah, and that's easy enough in our world.
Yeah, it sure is. And that was sort of the way, I wanted it to be, so that it didn't matter where I was in the world. I could still be looking after our clients. So.
And perfect, because it's it's exactly the same thing as me traveling, doing my bits and pieces. I think it's been so flexible and it allowed me to be anywhere really. So you're in the same boat. And you're in good company, because that's what everyone who starts and gets their VA business going suddenly appreciates, that they're actually able to do that. So how has it worked around family and navigating all that, because you do have some young children? How does that work?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. I think in Hong Kong, I'm quite lucky with the fact that we have helpers here. So I literally can say, take them out, I need some quiet time, which obviously in Australia I'd be, doing school and kindy and whatnot to get them out. But otherwise it's been fine. We're about to start home learning though, again in Hong Kong. So our 10-year-old is about to start tomorrow back at school and home learning. So that'll be a little bit more challenging, because he'll need to be, so I'll need to be a bit more hands-on with him. But the good thing is with this sort of work, I can, either get up early and do some hours, or I can be doing it later at night. It's sort of, not limited to sort of your 9 to 5.
Yeah, so you actually do you do different hours just to make it work around the family?
Yeah, I do for sure. I sort of try and start a little bit later, so that I've got a bit of the time in the morning, and then sort of around lunchtime I stop and help out with lunch and pop our daughter, she's only 3, pop her into bed, and then try and do gun ho for a few hours while she's asleep, and I hope she sleeps long enough. And then sort of pull back again late in the afternoons.
And have you sort of felt like the community, have you taken advantage of the community that we've got around us now, the VA community?
Yeah, I definitely have. I probably, I haven't interacted as much, but I'm definitely reading a lot of things. And somebody put a note up today, actually, the notes app on your Facebook, on your mobile. I didn't know that you could use that as a scanner, which I was like, oh, amazing.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Just little tips.
Yeah, it's those hidden gems that we don't know that we,
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm so thrilled, because it's great to have someone who's been able to set up while, we've worked together while you've been offshore, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, you're the first person that I've done training with who's been overseas. So we're doing international training now. How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
But, the same concepts apply really across the board for you. Do you find that you have networking? So I know we talk heavily about, getting together in person with business networks. Are you able to do that at all in Hong Kong? I know with the restrictions it might be different, but is there opportunity for you to do that? Yeah,
there's definitely the opportunities. I've also found where we live, we've got quite a good community here too. So I've actually got a really good friend of mine that's a dietitian, but she's I'm using her to mentor me a lot actually, and I'm really enjoying that. We sort of have lots of brainstorming, and she's done a fair bit of some training with social media and whatnot. So she's sort of, helping me with doing some regular posts to get the business out, and yeah, it's just nice to have someone to sort of soundboard off that.
Yeah, so, you know, that whole surrounding yourself with people who are business owners.
Yeah.
That would definitely help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what's your plans for the future? What have you got in store?
Oh, I would like to definitely grow the business so that I can, you know, bring on some people to, you know, to work in my business as well. But at the moment, I think just, you know, keep going along as we are, as I am. Trying to do a bit more learning with it all. And
so do you. So, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely would like to get to a point where I can employ someone. Even I was sort of thinking in my mind that, like my key service areas, I could employ people that, you know, would work in that key service area as opposed to someone, you know, broadly across.
Yeah. So totally.
I was thinking of,
so you put someone in who can help you in the key service areas that you currently provide. So
yeah.
No, that's a good plan. And that's what we find. A lot of people get to a point. So you might get 6 months down the track and you might go, wow, I'm so busy now. I need to actually get that support. So that's exactly what the community is there for, is that we build, you know, resources within our own community and you can pull them into your business.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, wow. Like I'm so excited for you. And you are trying to come back to Australia. I know you said that earlier.
Yes, I am. Having some hiccups with visas and whatnot for our daughter, so we'll get there. I think, it wouldn't have been an issue if COVID hadn't been here, but yeah, things are closed and we just can't get the appointments we need. So.
We didn't plan for COVID, did we?
No, we didn't. But I do actually think that it's helped the VA world because I think people have realised they don't need someone sitting next to them to support them. So.
Yeah, definitely. It has worked in our favour, and I think that's a great thing, and you've seen it, you're actually living it now, is that there is work out there. And even though you started after COVID had definitely been around for a little while and we've kind of gotten used to it, but you know, you've absolutely seen for yourself that you can find clients even in this climate. So I mean, that's great. So tell me, even though you're so new to it all, if somebody, you know, was having a chat with you and wanted to know what your tips are or your advice is, you know, when it comes to getting started, what would you say to someone?
I would definitely say, and this is going to sound like I'm just trying to promote your business, but I would definitely say your VA Institute, because just the tools that you gave me, the templates, all of that, like it basically, I wouldn't have been able to get it started as quickly if I didn't have those resources. So for me, that was definitely the you know, best thing that I did.
And otherwise, and like, it's been great having that. I think, you know, from my perspective, I've been very conscious that you are located, you know, offshore, and just make sure that you get the support that you need from us is really important to me. So so that thing that which I always try and offer is, you know, the ongoing support. Anyone's free, like anyone who's watching this, if you've come through the program and you think, oh my God, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, just sing out, because we're here. That's what we're here for. You know, it's not like you have to have a specific set amount of time and that's that. See you later. You know, we're definitely here for you to make sure that you're powering on as much as you possibly can. So
that's right.
Oh, well, look, it's great to talk to you, Kirrily, and I'm so thrilled to see that your business has started with a bang, really.
It has.
And so, you know, basically what we will do is we'll pop that introductory slide on with your website details. So if anyone wants to contact you, they might reach out through your website. But you're an inspiration when it comes to quick starts, because you know, you have started pretty quickly. It's good to gather that momentum to get yourself going and to really paint that success story to begin with, because it is totally possible. And you know,
it definitely is.
You've obviously had it's the right attitude. It's up here. You know, it's overcome years, so good on you. All right, well, I'm going to finish it up there because I know you've got a busy day, and I appreciate the time that you've given us. And we look forward to watching your growing success of your business. Okay, thanks, Kirrily.